What's happening, guys? White Boy coming at you with a Hurricane Milton here is about an hour away to start the storm. The real damage has happened. We have a lot of rain. So I'm getting my mind away from that, and I got to bring you some tragedy pimp news because it doesn't matter if it's sunny out, rain, sunshine, snow, tornadoes, whatever it is, the tragedy pimp news must get to the people. Where are we at? We are with T-Rev 757, that failed rapper, the guy who exploited Maddie Soto, that poor little girl who never had a chance at life. This guy with his friend, there's all receipts on this, was grifting. They did a fake call, acting like they're friends with Steven Stearns, getting his subscribers and the callers all ramped up and playing on their heartstrings. This asshole, it has came back to YouTube. He's been in and out and in and out. He's going to school. He's making a rap CD. He's doing this. He's doing that. He's back, and he claims Seth is now a pillhead, and there's a big beef. They're falling out, whatever. And he claims that Seth has Sebastian Rogers. Okay, first with the pills, I think it's a contradiction in itself for him to say this. The dude makes cheeseball, horrible rap music. This reminds me of when Benny Keys called me a junkie. Okay? You're calling me a junkie, but then you're rapping about doing the molly and selling the dope and being in the hood and the ghetto and the ghetto and the ghetto. Bro, contradiction. It's the same thing with T-Rev, okay? T-Rev is just trying to use Seth, exploit Seth, to crawl his measly, worthless behind back into the true crime community. And in this clip I'm about to play, at the end of this video, you're going to see him say that people are doing it for money and his heart is really in it. I don't, where was his heart in the Maddie Soto case when he had his friend call in and act like friends of the father? That guy might get the death penalty or at least life once convicted for the things he did into that girl. It's not funny. It's not cool. There's text messages behind it. But he's trying to crawl back into true crime using Seth. He's attacking Seth for these pills. Look, everybody knows Seth takes pain pills for his injury, his back. I'm not one to believe Seth is some raging drug addict. I'm not going to believe that. I don't necessarily love Seth Rogers. I do not believe he did anything to harm his son. I don't like who he hangs out with on YouTube, how he carries himself on YouTube, and stuff like that. My personal opinion, I think he's a little bit jealous, big time, of Katie, but that doesn't make him responsible for doing any foul play to his son, okay? There's no evidence supporting this, nothing like that. But this asshole T-Rev will lead you to believe that, okay? Who cares that doctor wrote him a prescription? Who cares? That's his business, okay? If you can remember, there was the whole thing where T-Rev says he tried to get him with Seth wanted him to buy a gun for him. Then I guess T-Rev was porking his girlfriend. So there was that fallout. And in this community post, I'll put it on the screen, T-Rev is claiming that Seth has publicly said, why are you leaking the CPS stuff, whatever. T-Rev's claiming that Seth emailed him the reports. Okay, don't know. CPS stuff, you can't FOIA request that, nothing. It's very hard to get anybody's eyes on it. So nobody should give it to any YouTuber or anything like that. But this is basically they fell out. T-Rev is just exploiting the situation, trying to tarnish Seth's name, okay? I don't have to love Seth or who he hangs out with. I'm not going to blame him for doing any harm to a missing child. We have to remember, when you write community posts about calling him a pillhead and making these claims of what he did to Sebastian, there's been massive amounts of death threats in this case. It's not smart. It's going to add to the crazy drama that's already going on in this case. And who is this guy? He has no credibility. Bro, you exploited a little girl. You are a piece of crap. A beautiful part of this was the comments on his post with the whole, hey, Seth is popping pills and this and that. The comments, I'll put it on the screen. Whoever, each and every one of you that ripped into his ass, I have respect for you. Thank you for doing that, because the dude keeps leaving. Remember back, the king of true crimes coming back, this and that. No, you're a tragedy pimp. You came back and attacked a grieving father. Dude is a dirtball. The whole pillhead thing, it's everybody, common sense. Seth has a prescription, okay, for a medication. It is what it is. The man works, okay, at the jail. He doesn't look like a junkie to me, okay? He's taking his medication, people. It is what it is, okay? It's not so much that. It is what he does next with... He's you know him to pull on heartstrings of subscribers, but he's leading so many people to believe that Seth has something to do with Sebastian, okay? This is beyond dirty, in my opinion, okay? You have these people on YouTube who latch on to these conspiracies. You have a whole lot of people who do think that Seth did something to his child. This asshole doesn't have any evidence of that. He's just leading people to believe that. And it's over YouTube beef, okay? And you're coming out of nowhere saying this. You know, they were best buds at one point, then they fell out. You're saying this because you fell out, and you're saying this because you need Seth to crawl back in here. But I'm so happy for those comments. I'm sure a lot of those comments have to do with the awareness and the stuff that Savage Live has put out. Shout out to Savage. Little food stamps. This guy's a little itty bitty baby cock guy. Baby cock. He can't be but 80 pounds. Savage put a lot of info out on this guy, and she gets a lot of respect. But that's what needs to happen. People hit those comments tearing him a new ass, and that's important. Do it for Maddie because he exploits these cases. But in this clip I'm going to show you, this guy is literally walking around. He's got the title of the video, Sebastian Rogers, Elijah Vu. He doesn't talk about the case at all. You use those kids' name in your title to bash parents and talk about how you're going to come back to the true crime community. Didn't you already do that like 5-6 times? Yeah, you already did. He's going to school. He's making a CD. He's finding Jesus. Stop it, bro. Stop it. It's pretty pathetic. He's walking around. He looks like an itty bitty dude. But one thing I noticed, he's like, F the haters, F the haters. If you remember anything with T-Rev and this whole exploitation of the situation that he created, but the expose that came up after it, whether it was Savage, whether it was parodies, whether it was Unauthorized Maniacs, going in detail, like almost a documentary on him. If you notice anything, T-Rev takes criticism and negative comments very, very personal, and they affect him. You could see on this guy that the comments bother him, and I know personally he's deleted hundreds of my comments, okay, especially after what he pulled with his friend, okay? But this guy literally censors his comment section like unbelievable. I'm going to tell you, I have almost, 20,000 subs. So his channel is 4 times bigger than mine. If I was that anal and deleted every negative comment and I censored it to it was only positive, people, that is time consuming. That is super time consuming, okay? Super time consuming. But that's at my channel. 4 times, I can only believe it. But when you do shenanigans on YouTube, when you shenan, they always shenan again. But when you do shenanigans, people are going to come hard with them comments. Okay? That means he's got overload. I can't even try to begin to explain how long this guy wastes time censoring his comments. Trust me, it is a long time. Okay? So I just want to say that. Salute to Savage and salute to all y'all who've been in comments. Anyway, this clip we're about to watch, it's just a joke. You're going to see a grifter in real time. He's been away from this channel for a couple weeks, coming back full force. Let me make a post on community about how this guy's such a big pillhead, and let me attack him, okay, and say that he's responsible for Sebastian, okay? You're going to see it in real time. If you haven't seen this, no problem. I'll watch the garbage for you, and I'll report it to you. So just so you can recognize what these tragedy pimps do, okay? It's very important. So let's get into it. I'll play the clip, and T-Rev can suck some ass. And for the record, I'm going to end this and try to upload it while I have internet. I would rather have a Hurricane 5, Milton, come right at me than sit through A, T-Rev 75.7 live, or B, even worse. One SoundCloud rapper song that he's created. No thank you. Bring on Milton and the tornadoes that come with it. Until the next one, enjoy the clip. Smash that member if you can, and if you can't, the like is free.
So I'm going back to school for audio production. Okay. And I'm not even going to talk about what just happened before, but I do want to, talk to you guys about the case with Sebastian Rogers. You already know my heart and soul is into that case. Again, these people don't give a fuck about nothing but a dollar. They don't care about nothing but the donations. That's it. Somebody that is very close has him, okay? And I'll give you a little hint. That's somebody you've seen before. You've seen their face on camera, okay? Not only have you seen their face on camera, they've been right there in front of your face. I'm not going to say what their name starts with, but I'm going to just leak out a tad bit of what my thoughts are on it. I believe that he was taken from that house by somebody that is his blood, that loves him dearly, and that wanted to see him away from Katie and Chris. That is just my opinion, and I'll elaborate a little bit